Okay, guys, I think we'll make a start. So, look, Teams has been paying up a little bit today. So, if you find that you're not seeing what I'm talking about on the screen, please feel free just to unmute it and let me know, and then I can just sort of start it over again. Okay, so I am recording this, so if there are any bits that you don't understand, or you just want to go back over it again, you're obviously free to do so. After the lesson, and I'm going to be uploading it automatically. It uploads onto Teams, and I'm also uploading it onto I'm uploading it onto YouTube as well. So here we go. This is going to the. So hopefully you can see my whiteboard now. If you can't, please can you let me know, and then but I'm assuming you can see it. So obviously, welcome back, guys. As you will remember, we finished off the end of last term working through a series of revision lessons, and we had a couple to go. Now, I've had a conversation with the maths department, and we don't really feel it's appropriate to sort of do any testing at the moment, because obviously it's very hard for us to do sort of tests under test conditions. So it's probably good news that we're not going to have a test at the moment. So I think rather than carry on with the last couple of revision lessons, we'll move on, because those topics that we would have been revising were ones we've done pretty recently anyway. So I'm just going to be working through our Trinity terms scheme of work, and we're going to be starting off with simultaneous equations, which is quite tricky until it drops. So bear with me. If you don't really get it, just get back in touch with me after you've had a look, and we can just go over it again until you do understand it. It's something we will build upon over the next few lessons. Okay, so that's the title, 10.1 Simultaneous Equations. So I've just got a little graph here to sort of explain to you the idea. So we've got two different equations. We've got the line y equals 3x plus 2, okay? And if we were to plot that, we would get this red line here. Okay, so we've done that before, plotting straight line graphs. Do you remember you were just substituting various values for x and see what y values you got to generate some coordinates, and you would plot a few coordinates to form a straight line. So there's our first equation. That's forming the red line there. And then with these simultaneous equations, you've got two lines. So we've got a second equation here, y equals minus 2x plus 3. That's this one here in light blue. Now you will see that there's this one point here where the two lines cross, that coordinate satisfies both of these. So this coordinate here, whatever it might be, for example, it might be x being 2, y being 5, that works in both of these equations. So all the algebra that we're going to be doing from now on is to enable us to work out this coordinate where the lines cross. We will be working out an x value, and then secondly, we will be working out a y value. Okay, so we won't be having to do these graphs again. This is just me showing you what's going on. We will be given two equations like this, and we will have to do some maths to enable us to end up working out what x is and what y is. So, I've got a whole bunch of questions here in the corner that I popped onto a worksheet, and you will be working on those when this live part of the lesson is finished. Now, you can upload that worksheet from two places, either from Show My Homework, which we would have got earlier on today, and it would be the link at the bottom. But I've also, just before this lesson started, I attached it in Teams to the notes, you know, where we were just saying where you went on to click to get onto the lesson. So there are two places where you can access this, this sheet of questions. So I've just taken the first one as an example. So we've got 3x plus y equaling 7 and 2x plus y equaling 6. Those are our two equations. Now, with all of these, you're going to have a choice to do one of two things. You can either add the equations together, or you can take one equation away from the other. Both of them mathematically work, but only one of those decisions will allow you to what's called eliminate, to get rid of one of the variables. So we'll either get rid of x or we will get rid of y. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. Now, say for example you decided to add these two equations together, and you could have done that, you know, that's a possibility. So we're going to do 3x plus 2x, we're going to do y plus y, and we're going to do 7 plus 6. So 3x plus 2x, because we're adding them together, is 5x, 1y plus 1y is 2y, and 7 plus 6 is 13. Now that's mathematically correct. That's not wrong. That is correct maths, but it hasn't got us anywhere. We haven't got rid of either x or y, so it just hasn't served any purpose. However, what would have happened if we'd subtracted instead of added? So we're now going to subtract the bottom one away from the top one. So we've got 3x take away 2x, which is 1x. Y take away y is nothing. And that's the whole point. That's the good news. We've got rid of y. We've eliminated y. And then finally, 7 take away 6 is 1. So because we've managed to eliminate y, we know what x is. X equals 1. So we're halfway there. We've worked out one of those coordinates. Going back to this example here, we've worked out the x coordinates. Okay, so once we've worked out the x coordinates, our final step is to work out the y coordinate. So what you do there, you just take either of the two equations that you were given to start with. Doesn't matter which one. Why don't we just take the first one? So I'm just taking 3x plus y equaling 7. Now, what have I just worked out? I've just worked out that x equals 1. So 3 lots of x is 3 lots of 1. 3 lots of 1 is 3. So we've got 3 plus y equals 7. So therefore, what must y be? Y must be 4. So our final answer on this occasion is x equaling 1, y equaling 4. And we finished. Okay? So for this particular question here, the way we got rid of the y's was to choose to take away. Now we took away because these two signs were the same. So a y take away a y, got rid of the y's. And why did we focus on the y's on this occasion? Well, because they've got the same numerical value. There's only one lot of y here. Okay, there's no way we could have got rid of the x's, whether we were adding or subtracting, because we've got 3 of one, 2 of the others. So for this particular question, y was the one we were going to eliminate. And okay, we could have added them, but that didn't help. It didn't eliminate y. But when we subtracted, y take away y disappeared. So that's question 1. Now another example I want us to do, so we're just going to have a look at question 2. So question 2, we've got 2x plus y equaling 21 and x minus y equaling 6. So as always, you've got two choices. You can either add the equations together or you could subtract them. So let's just kick off by seeing what happens when we add these equations together. So 2x plus x is 3x. Now, y added together with minus y is y take away y. All right, when you're adding a minus, that becomes a minus. So what we've actually got here is y taking away y, which is nothing. And that's what we want. We want to eliminate one of the two variables. Okay, so plus y added together with minus y is nothing, and that's good news. So let's keep on adding. 21 add 6 is 27. So again, we've managed to eliminate the y's. Now 3x equals 27. So what must x be? Well, we divide both sides by 3. 3 9s are 27. So x must be 9. So that's worked out what x is. Again, remember the process. You then take either of the equations. It doesn't matter which one. On this occasion, I've decided to take the second one. So I know that x minus y equals 6. Well, I've just worked out that x is 9. So 9 take away y, because x is 9. 9 take away y equals 6. So therefore y must be 3, because 9 take away 3 is 6. So my final answer for question 2 is x equals 9, y equals 3. Okay, our work is done. Now, what would have happened if we'd made the wrong decision to subtract the equations? 2x take away x would have been x. Now, y minus y, y minus y, when you minus and minus, you're actually adding. So you would have got y add y, which is 2y. So we'd have got 2y here, and 21 take away 6 is 15. So if we'd chosen to take away, we would not have achieved our goal of eliminating either x and y. They're both still there. Now, the skill is deciding what is the one to do. Should we have added or should we have subtracted? Now, looking at this one here, we are going to be focusing on the y's to be eliminated because there's only a single y. Okay, there's a plus y and a minus y, it doesn't matter. There's just a single y. So we're focusing on eliminating the y's. Now, because the signs are different, the way you go and eliminate the y's is to add them together. We saw when we added them, because the signs were different, that's what eliminated the y's. However, on question 1, to eliminate the y's because the signs of the y's were the same, we had to subtract. So you've just got to really learn the skill of when do you add, when do you subtract. So before I let you loose and having a few goes yourselves, I want you just to look at these and decide whether you think you should be adding or subtracting. So I'm just going to give you a few seconds to have a think about these. You don't have to write anything down, but we've just done numbers 1 and 2. Just go along in your head and think, are you going to add or subtract in order to eliminate a variable? And I'm just going to give you 30 seconds to think about this, and then I will go over it. Okay, so just to recap the ones we've done already. When here we're trying to eliminate the y's because there's only a single y. The signs were the same, so the way you will eliminate the y's is to subtract. With question 2, again we're focusing on the y's because there's only one of those, but because the signs are different, in order to eliminate the y's, you're going to choose to add. Those are the two we've done already. Now, what about question 3? Okay, now we're focusing on the y's because there's only a single one of them. All right, we've got 5x and 1x, so we're not focusing on eliminating the x's, we're focusing on eliminating the y's. Okay, so we've got a plus and a minus y. The signs are different, so on this occasion, if to eliminate the y's, we're going to have to add the equations together. Okay, when we add them together, because these signs are different, the y's will go. Question 4. Again, we're focusing on the y's because there's only a single one of them. The signs are different, so we're going to add those equations together. Question 5. Now, look, we're now focusing on the x's because 1x and 1x, the y's are different. So what do we do in order to eliminate the x's? Well, the signs are the same. You know, this is a plus x and a plus x, isn't it? So the signs are the same. So in order to eliminate that will be a taking away question, and so on. So I'm just going to quickly go through these now at a much faster pace and just see if you can see what we're going to do. We're going to take away here. Number 7, we're going to take away. 8 we're going to take away. Now, question 9, we're looking back now at the y's because they've got the same number, just a single y. Signs are different, so we're going to add. Question 10, we're going to add. Question 11, we're going to subtract, and so on. So that's the end of the teaching part of the lesson. Okay, I want to keep this video reasonably short so you can go and spend 25 minutes or so having a go at some of these yourselves. Now, what's going to be really important is that you get used to how you can upload these onto Teams so that I can mark them easily. Okay. Now, this is Casper's here. It's just because he's the first one on the system. When Casper goes and clicks on homework, he will go and see that he's already got this page already set there because I've set it through assignments saying 10.1 simultaneous equations. Now, when Casper clicks on that 10.1, the actual page will come up here, okay? And then if Casper then goes down to the bottom of the questions, he will see that he's got this yellow box here. Now, what you all need to do, as I said, you need to go and download this set of questions, either from Show My Homework or from Teams. You then go and do your work. And there are 2 ways you can upload it to me. You can either take pictures of it on your phone and then upload those via picture, or alternatively, you're just going to scan your work and upload it via file. Now, if you go via file, make sure, please, that you then click the Insert File Printout option, because that's what allows me to upload it. Now, just to reiterate the first point I was saying, because this is the bit kids always forget. In order for these options to work, you must go and click in this box first. So click here, and then either of these 2 options is available to you. Okay. Now, the beauty of this is, it just once, if you upload it that way, it's ever so easy for me because I can just go on to the assignments part of Teams and I just see all your names and I can see who of you have handed it in. I can then just easily click on it and then I can go and mark it and just leave you a comment and put a smiley face on and what have you. Okay, so that's it from the teaching part of the lesson. This will take a while of getting used to. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just allow you to unmute now if any of you have got any queries. So please feel free to ask any. Please keep your cameras not on because I'm still recording. But I just want to give you a couple of moments just to ask any questions if you've got any. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go and stop recording.